Aloha. Section 2.3 Barriers to Entry, Technology, and Timing. The idea in this section is that uh, companies, typically innovative startup companies, are using technology to enter new markets. Okay? Now, as we have this tech-centric business, uh, the question arises that if operational effectiveness technologies, for example, are easy to copy, then what's the benefit of being first to market? Okay, are there really any barriers for an established company to come in, adopt the same technology investments, copy your success, and move forward? Now, this is a very relevant question, particularly when students say, "I'm going to come up with this brand new business idea." That you have to think about. Because what's happened, for example, with the social networking platform Twitter, right, is startups emerged providing relevant services kind of as an add-on to Twitter. And Twitter's kind of made a habit of looking around, finding the successful add-on third-party startups that provide additional services for allowing more posting from outside of the web. For example, posting outside of the website used to be you go to twitter.com, you make your post. A lot of apps came out for the iPhone that allows you to post to Twitter from your phone instead of from the website. Okay. Twitter looked at one of them and bought it. Okay, and now all of a sudden, all these other companies are competing against this established company with lots of resources. And there's a number of companies. I was at a meeting with another tech giant in Silicon Valley, and they're very established, but they don't innovate a lot. Okay, and their philosophy in a lot of their market areas is we just wait, we look for the innovator, and we buy them. Yeah. So that's one strategy of coming into a market. You have to understand that the barriers to entry could be low because of either acquiring the competition, or it could be low because you just need to acquire the software. Okay, so a message in this book is entering a market as a tech-centric company is not the same as building a sustainable business. Just showing up doesn't guarantee you're going to survive. In fact, some estimates I've heard 90% of all tech startups fail. Okay. So, how do you get past that? Well, what you do is you come in strong with a tech centric startup, and then you have to use your lead time. You've just bought yourself, you came up with a new distribution channel, you've got a new business process, you've got a new product category, you have a new way of addressing a need in the market. Okay? You may have a number of months, you may have a number of years. Okay? I was at a meeting with another internet startup. This one develops security hardware for firewalls. Well, if you don't know what a firewall is, don't worry about it. But it's a box that helps keep your network secure, your company computers secure. And they've got a different approach from looking for these types of threats and protecting against these types of threats than most of the other people who are selling similar types of products in the industry. So it's, well, what's to keep others from copying this? Well, they've got an advantage in their site because if the established vendors were to start adopting things their way, they would basically have to scrap or throw away the way that they're approaching this problem. Okay. So we have this new generation of security appliances, of security computers, that's doing something in a new way. And in order for the old companies to adopt it, they'd have to throw away their old way of doing things because they can't what's called straddle both markets or try to adopt both approaches to doing this. Okay. Now, that being said, that protects them from the established vendors, but what protects this new startup from other startups coming in and doing this? Well, the advantage is time. Okay, so we could make the assumption the established companies are going to just throw everything away, go back to the drawing board, and try to catch up with the new vendor. Or we could also similarly say new companies are going to start up and try to catch up with the new vendor. So what gives this existing startup, this existing new startup, an advantage here is what are they going to do with the year and a half lead time they have. They estimate it would take, I think, their competitor a year and a half to get ahead, to catch up with them. Well, in the meantime, they're going to work on building other strategic assets, right? They're going to enhance their value chain. They're going to develop network effects. They're going to try to set up building up a solid brand, getting their customers, getting word of mouth out, and so they can grow their product and keep moving. Okay, so the secret is not necessarily, there's this philosophy of follow, don't lead, right? Of let others do the hard work of figuring out the innovation, then just buy the technology or buy the startup and you're in the market. Okay, but the idea is you've entered the market and now you've bought yourself a little bit of time. You have to keep innovating if you're going to stay ahead of those who are coming behind you and buying this commodity hardware, commodity software perhaps, and trying to compete. Okay, so this is the balance between, there's low barriers to entry. We're going to emphasize this point as well. It's a great time in many respects to be a startup company because the cost of starting a business, the cost of computing for a business has come really low. But at the same time, we can now accelerate our innovation to stay ahead of our competitors.